Have you ever, scrolled through YouTube and wondered why some videos look incredibly sharp, really professional, while others just don't quite hit the mark? Even if the content itself is like really good, it's something a lot of creators bump up against. And often the secret isn't just what you film, but how you prep it for the internet. So today we're doing a deep dive into two really foundational things for pro video: resolution and aspect ratio. Super crucial if you're putting stuff on YouTube. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right. And our goal here really is to give you a shortcut, like a way to get quickly up to speed on this stuff. It sounds technical, maybe a bit like jargon, but honestly, it's essential.
Yeah, essential is the right word.
It's definitely not just about looking pretty. It's more about making sure your video actually fits where people are watching it. That makes a huge difference in how it lands.
Exactly. And we've pulled together some really interesting points for you from a recent discussion about digital video standards. We've kind of curated the key takeaways, so let's get into it. First up, video resolution. When we talk quality, this is usually the first term, right? I think most people have a sense of it's the number of pixels, basically, in the frame. And that directly decides how sharp, how clear your video looks. Simple idea. More pixels, more detail.
Exactly. And then there's the shape. That's
Yeah.
where aspect ratio comes in. Think of it like the dimensions of your screen, the relationship between the width and the height. So a super common example is 16.9. That's like everywhere. TVs, monitors, most YouTube. That's really the foundation for making something look professional.
Okay, so here's something people sometimes get wrong. They think, oh, YouTube will just figure it out. And, well, it's true that YouTube does automatically adjust its player. It tries to match the resolution and aspect ratio you upload.
Right.
Doesn't matter if someone's watching on their phone or a tablet or a big desktop monitor, YouTube tries to adapt.
It does. That adaptive player is pretty clever. It resizes things on the fly, but, and this is the important bit, just because it resizes doesn't mean you can just ignore the settings when you upload.
Right, it's not a magic wand.
No. For example, think about desktop viewing. The standard there is really that 16.9. So what happens if you upload, say, a vertical video, like a 9.16 video, maybe from TikTok or Shorts?
Okay.
On a desktop, YouTube will usually center it. And then it adds padding, like bars on the sides, to fill the 16.9 space.
Those bars. Usually white.
Usually white, yeah. Unless the viewer is using dark mode, then it turns like a dark gray.
So the point is, you really don't want your content looking, well, weird or unintentionally cropped on certain devices, right? Even though YouTube compensates, you get the best results, the most professional look when you upload using the recommended specs, you want to control that presentation.
Precisely. Control is key.
All right, so let's hit you with the actual numbers. The recommended resolutions, specifically for that 16.9 aspect ratio, which, YouTube really prefers. We'll list a few from highest down. Okay, first, 4320p, that's 8K. The pixels are 7680 by 4320, huge.
Yeah.
Then 2160p, which is 4K, that's 3840 by 2160. Very common now.
Becoming the standard for quality, definitely.
Next, 1440p, sometimes called 2K. That's 2560 by 1440, a good middle ground. Then the classic, 1080p Full HD, 1920 by 1080, still looks great.
Absolutely, the workhorse.
Then we drop down to 720p, which is HDT, 1280 by 720. And below that, you get into standard definition, or SD, like 480p, 854 by 480, 360p, 640 by 360, and even 240p, 426 by 240.
The list goes down quite a bit.
But realistically,
if you want that crisp, professional look we've been talking about, you really want to be aiming for 1080p or higher. That's the benchmark now.
That's the key takeaway, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
1080p gives you solid, sharp quality that works almost everywhere. 4K gives you that extra wow factor, especially on bigger screens. 8K, I mean, it's impressive technically, 7680 by 4320. But the file sizes are enormous.
Yeah, huge files.
And the processing power needed. For most channels, especially starting out, it's probably overkill. The visual difference might not even be noticeable for a lot of viewers compared to 4K.
Good point. And yeah, there's always that trade-off. Higher resolution means bigger files, longer uploads, more storage needed.
True.
Yeah.
It's a small trade-off, though, for really great quality, especially if your goal is to, grow your channel and really make an impact.
Yeah.
And, this raises an interesting question, doesn't it? If getting these technical details right, resolution, aspect ratio, can make such a big difference in how people perceive your content and how they engage with it. what other invisible choices, like technical things or maybe even how you structure your videos, might be affecting that connection you're trying to build with your audience?
That's a great point to ponder. It's not just what you say, but the whole package. So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, getting comfortable with these numbers, these concepts, it really moves you past just, pointing your camera and hitting record. It gives you control. It puts you in the driver's seat for your video's quality, ensuring you deliver the best possible experience every single time.
Absolutely. Nail the basics, and it shows.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of pixels and screen shapes. We really hope you can take these insights and apply them to whatever you're creating, happy creating.